Half a day, everybody. You know I love shining the light on athletes, and we got so many here on the island and abroad. They call Guam home and everything like that. I got the best job in the world, man. And one of our very best in soccer, Kai Pahl, whose hair is a little bit more poofier than I remember when he signed his letter of intent to play at St. Martin's College in Washington. So, Kai, good to catch up with you, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's get the entire island up to speed. It's not just a soccer loving community, but like everybody who watched you play, like at St. Paul and watched you, grow into a championship caliber player. So you're out there in St. Martin's University. What's going on with you right now? Have you declared your major?
Yeah, I have declared my major. Yeah, I'm a education major, secondary education major with a concentration in English. But yeah, it's going great. I'm going to my junior year, and my sophomore year athletically because I redshirted my freshman year. But yeah, it's going great. It's awesome.
Okay, so as being at a D2 school, right? What was the tempo change like? Because I remember when I interviewed you again at your signing ceremony, I was like, how, Guam athletes can be, like the top kid in their school or the top kid, like on the national team and everything like that. You go and play in a collegiate program and everything like that. It's on you to kind of like change your tempo and you essentially like you learn the game all over again. Like what was that transition like for you?
Yeah, it was definitely a reality check. I mean, like you're coming in thinking that you're, the best in your high school team, the best on your national team, stuff like that, but you come out here and everyone's the best on their high school team and they're better than me and they're older than me. I'm going against like 26-year-olds, as like an 18-year-old coming out of college, high school. And so it's a reality check, but it's a great experience and I'm glad to like have gotten to play and gotten to like experience that like tempo and get used to it. And now I can say that I can like keep up and even be better than, these guys.
All right. And all the coaches over at the Guam Football Association, they all praised your ability to learn, to take what the instruction that they were giving you and immediately implement that into your game. But now with 2 years of college, even though you redshirted, um, how has your game changed in your estimation? Like in the way like you prepare, in the way that like you approach the game and the way you train.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like the more experience you get, you feel more comfortable on the ball. You feel confident in yourself. And so that's like one thing that like being able to be out here and adapting to that change and just kind of finding my footing and getting comfortable like that helped a lot. And like uh, 2 summers in a row, I haven't gone home. I've stayed out here and I've played for club teams here and, building connections and just continuously like being a student of the game. And so like to be able to like, stay here and stay away from family and friends and just focus on trying to be the best player that I can. Like it's a sacrifice, but it's paying off. So
Mhm. How was it like for you? Because soccer is such a running sport, obviously, but going to a different climate. Because some people say, breathing this hot, dense, Guam air actually makes our cardio systems and our lungs like stronger when you go out to like a
uh
place where it's just raining all the time, like Washington State.
yeah, no, it was definitely like once it starts getting cold, I was struggling. I'm like the one guy keeping a sweatshirt on 24/7. They're like, why do you have that on? It's like this is nothing compared to Guam. But yeah, I mean, now I'm used to it, but yeah, initially it was really hard. Like I was freezing, I didn't own any jeans, no pairs of pants, nothing, I was just coming out with my shorts and my flip-flops. So
Mm. Have you do you play the same position that you did like in high school? Because some athletes when they go off to college, have growth spurts or they take to different positions better. I know
uh
some guys that were playing strikers and when they played in college, they moved them over to goalkeeper. Are you in the same role?
Yeah, I am in the same role. I play like outside back, but sometimes I go up as a winger or a wing back. So I'm still on that wide channel, but yeah, same position.
Hmm. And then tell me about your club experience and everything like that, because you're traveling all over the place. And as we're recording this, you're getting ready to ship out to Abu Dhabi for
Yeah.
competition and everything. So like, what is playing at that level meant for your game?
Yeah. Obviously an honor to go represent the island of Guam again in another tournament. I leave tomorrow morning. But yeah, like I meet all these high caliber players, these high caliber coaches, and I play with these club teams over the summer. And it's just like a different level than like Guam clubs. Like you're traveling to all these different states and all these different cities and like playing all these players who are the best at what they do in their area. And so it's a great experience and like it's another challenge. And it's awesome to like be able to experience that.
Mm. What do your teammates, even like some of the coaches and some of the fans and like your classmates in St. Martin's, what do they ask about Guam? Because I mean we always get that, right? They're like, oh,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah, what one of the main ones is like, what language do you speak? You know, or like, are there, they ask all these questions like, are there planes? Are there like, how do you get out of the island? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's all the
Do you
normal
sacrifice your
questions.
virgin to the fire god up in the volcano and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, but it's nice. We just got two new freshmen in our class, and both of them are from Guam. So now I'm not the only one. There's three of us now. So
Very nice. Okay,
yeah.
so now as kind of like, like as a vet on the team, how do you plan on like mentoring those guys and, people that, grew up in the same streets that you did? How do you plan on taking them
hmm
under your wing?
Yeah, kind of just using the experiences that I've been through. Like I was there, I was in their shoes coming from Guam to this big, giant state. And so I'm just kind of helping them, telling them what's important, what helped me and what didn't help me and stuff like that. So I just feel like it's important that I can like pass down like knowledge and like experiences and stuff like that.
Okay, because if you think about it, you're like a triple threat athlete right now, or essentially you've got three full-time jobs, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
You're a college athlete playing for a D2 school, you're playing for the national team, and you're flying all over Asia to do that. And then you're playing club ball too. So
Yeah.
how do you manage all of that?
Yeah. Well, club soccer is usually only during the summer. So
Mm,
that's like, and then school soccer is, fall and spring. And then summer is club soccer. So, I mean, all year round, I'm playing soccer. And then, in between these seasons, I'm, shipping out, flying out, representing Guam. So, like, this summer I finished my summer season, and like that next day I flew to Philippines for a U23 Guam camp. And then today is my first day of school, and tomorrow I'm shipping out to Abu Dhabi for 2 weeks, and representing Guam. So it's really just a lot of time management, but luckily like it kind of just all fits and it
mm.
all works out throughout the year.
And
Yeah.
obviously, you're right on the cusp of being, being called up to our senior team, and being able to play like, possibly like at the FIFA level when we get like those matches and
hmm
everything like that. How are you? I mean, I'm sure it's on your mind. So how are you preparing for that? And by the time you graduate from college, you could be, a starter on our national team at that
Yeah.
level.
Yeah, I mean, just using the experiences that I learned from out here and bringing it to Guam soccer, because it's different growing up in Guam and playing, your whole life in Guam. It's a different level out here, and so I'm if I can bring that over to the people from Guam and we can just all grow together. And it's all about my performances too. The head coach for the U23 is Coach Ross.
Yep.
He's also the first team head coach, the Matao head coach. So, every time I step on the field, I want to perform and try to impress him because he's the one at the end of the day making the decision for the Mattel team as well.
There's
So,
another player because Coach Ross. I mean, shout out to Coach Ross Allen, the coach of the national teams and the technical director for the Guam Football Association. He was one of those guys that played striker, and then they moved him to goalkeeper.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, as we wrap up, like, based on your own experience and your own journey, and every athlete's, journey is unique, but there's going to be a lot of, young people, essentially your peers coming out of high school, getting ready, and they say, I want to play at the next level, and you're, or, like,
Mhm.
I want to save my parents money. I want to see if I can qualify for a scholarship and everything. I saw Kai's interview. What words of wisdom would you give to them about how to prepare and what can they do to get ready and, get looked at by colleges?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's hard, obviously, coming from Guam. So, like, the main thing is, you want to have as much game film as possible. You want to be able to show coaches from 1,000 miles away what you can do. So, game film's important, but it's also you got to believe in yourself. Like, I've told my parents since I was young that like I wanted to go play college in soccer and I want to go play pro. And every year, every day, they'd ask me, "Hey, do you still want to do this? Do you want?" And it never changed. I always had the same goal. And so like you got to be determined, and if you can just keep chasing that goal, keep chasing that dream, then like nothing can stop you realistically at the end of the day. And so I just say like believe in yourself and work hard and do all the things that you need to do. And yeah, you can make anything happen.
Absolutely, and that's why you've got the champion's attitude, bro, and that's why you've got an entire island of fans, myself included, cheering you on and like wishing you the very best, man. We're really, really proud of you and all your success and like keep jamming out there and have a good trip to Abu Dhabi.
Uh-huh. Thank you. I appreciate it so much.
Okay, so Kai Paul, national team, St. Martin's, club play, doing soccer 12 months a year, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, it's the dream. It's the life.
There you go. Hey, all right, man. Best of luck to you out there.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.